Stand by for audio.
K and Kev starts now.
Season 2, episode 3. We are back, and Kev, we've got so much to talk about today. Oh my goodness.
We do. It's been it's been a little while. It's been 3 weeks. Yeah, gosh.
Yeah, this is the longest because I think we both decided we wanted to wait until WandaVision, the finale, aired so we could watch it, and we will definitely be talking about that. We've got lots to talk about with WandaVision. Kevin watched it, so I'm very
I watched it. I mean, that's like breaking news that I watched the entire thing, because usually I spend every episode of this podcast, I haven't gotten around to it yet, but this time, Christina, I was responsible. I watched every episode, and also
I'm so proud.
Enjoyed it. It was just enjoyable and great entertainment, so we're going to dive into that, absolutely.
Oh, we've got so much to talk about, but I want to start with something that I found this weekend, Kevin. It's always like a big outing for me these days whenever I get to go to a store, because I'm still not going anywhere. I'm working from home. I'm doing everything from home, but I went to a store and I found this, and I'm so excited that we're filming these now because I can show you what I found. This is totally a childhood dream come true, finding these.
Oh, Dunkaroos. Wait, okay, so
I'm so happy.
Christina, what's the deal with Dunkaroos? Didn't they discontinue them and now they're back?
Yes. So they discontinued them right when we were, I guess, done with school, maybe at least done with junior high or something. And I used to eat these every day for lunch as a kid.
Yeah.
They discontinued it, and then last year they were teasing they're coming back. And then they never came back. And then I read in my show prep.
What a tease.
That 7-Eleven had come out with them for a month and never publicized it. And I was like, I missed it. They've been teasing it, and I missed it. And then I saw Betty Crocker came out with the frosting, which, let's be real, is the best part for baking.
Best part. Yeah.
But I was like,
I throw out the rest. I just did the front. No. Yeah, you're right. But it's the best part.
It's so good. So I was like, I guess if I'm going to be baking, I could use it, but I couldn't find it anywhere. And I was like, well, you know what? At this point, it's just not happening. And then I found them, and so many people, I texted a bunch of friends. I was like, did you see this? And they were like, it's not the same. It's not the same. And I was
oh, really?
I was so defeated.
So
my sister and I tried them today. They are
exactly
the same. They are exactly the same. It is amazing. I do know now, and Kevin, you might be in the same boat as me.
Yeah.
I cannot eat a full one anymore because I got such a bad headache after.
Well, because we're adults and the sugar gets us. That's the thing, right? When you're a kid, that sugar's a rush. You're like, give me more. And as an adult, you're like, I gotta kind of pace myself. Well, I can't eat all of this in one sitting. Wait, so what's up with your friends spreading that Dunkaroo slander, saying it's not the same thing? Wow.
I don't know. I thought they were exactly.
I can't believe these people.
I will say, my sister and I were eating them, and we were both like, do you remember there being this many cookies in them? There just seems like there's so many.
Maybe they changed them up.
I don't think so, though. I think they're pretty much dead on. And it was so great to open it up and see the little.
Wow.
When's the last time? It feels so good.
That's childhood right there. And they did kind of discontinue those when we got out of school, right? They're like, Christina graduated. We don't need to make Dunkaroos anymore. We're done with these. I have not had a package of those in, it's got to be freaking 20 years.
Yep. It felt so satisfying. And I feel like during the pandemic, we've been turning to a lot of things from our childhood, simpler times. So having that, it just made me want to watch some of my old TV shows, put on DuckTales or something and just be one with the world. It was just perfect.
Throw on the classics. So the last thing about this, where did you find those?
Okay, so I found them at BJ's, which is a Costco.
Sure.
You guys don't have them in California though, right? I mentioned it on one of my YouTube videos, and people are like, what's a BJ's? And they were all people from California.
I don't believe there are BJ's certainly not in Southern California. Costco is the thing out here. There's many.
Yeah.
I don't know. See, this is the issue for those of you new to K and K. We are on different coasts. Christina, rep in New York, and I'm here in Los Angeles, California. So there's a chance there might not be Dunkaroos by me. So you may have just got up. I'm going to go scour all the local stores. Ralph's is the big one here, grocery stores, Pavilions. And then I'm going to have to try Costco. And if I don't hit it, either of those three or all those three, then there's a chance I might not be getting some Dunkaroos.
When in doubt, I always feel like Costco to the rescue, though. That is something I've learned. And the older I get, the more and more I feel a bond with Costco.
You're right. Yeah.
Whenever you need something, go to Costco.
Or maybe Amazon Prime would hook me up. Like if I strike out at all those places, maybe I can find them online. Ooh, maybe.
I'm gonna look it up right now because that's
check it
another
out.
thing. When in doubt, Amazon. But lately, I don't know if you found this too. I've always been like, oh, Amazon will have it. The past 6 months, Amazon has not had it. Maybe because of the pandemic. I don't know.
That's because everyone's saying Amazon will have it and they're all getting it before you do, I guess. I don't know. It's crazy. Well,
okay.
It's not good news.
So I paid,
based on this reaction.
I paid more than I should for a 6-pack. I paid like $8.99 for them, but I wanted that childhood nostalgia.
You know, it's a pandemic.
A 6-pack is $21 on Amazon. Wow. I just don't know that that's worth it. I mean, if you can't find it, I guess it is.
I can tell you, I think Dunkaroos are fantastic. I can say without a shadow of a doubt that it's not worth it. I don't think anything's worth that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy.
$21 for a 6-pack?
No, that's crazy.
Jeez. All right. Well, you know what? I'm going to go find them at the store. We'll figure it out.
All right. If not, I'm going to have to pick them up. Pick up Dunkaroos for Kevin.
Yes. ship FedEx across the country. Dunkaroos. Done deal. Yeah.
That's amazing. So speaking of you being out on the West Coast, I am very excited because I feel like this week or last week rather, it was like a very hopeful week. I felt like I just scheduled my appointment for the vaccine. I just feel like things are looking up. It's almost spring here. And also, I think it was Friday, huge announcement for you guys on the West Coast that a lot of your theme parks can open again, like Disneyland. That's so exciting.
I heard about this. Look, it's very encouraging. Like similar to you, I'm not scheduled to get the vaccine yet, but my health provider just reached out to me and said, you know, vaccine information coming in. It's all starting to come together finally, right? Like we're all getting back to this point. And now things are slowly reopening. I'm still proceeding with caution. I'm like you. I mean, I'm working from home these days a lot. Things like that, auditioning from home for, you know, the acting.
Crazy.
So for me, I'm a little hesitant when I hear like a Disneyland is opening up. As amazing as that news is, I'm not running to Disneyland. I'm not going to be one of the first ones back there. But I think it's for those that have already received the vaccine, for those that are practicing that safe social distancing, get there with your family, be safe, be responsible about it, and go and enjoy. And I think things are slowly reopening for me. You know, I'm such an avid sports fan. You see it now with baseball, this and that. You know, we're not packing stadiums, we're not packing arenas anymore, obviously, but they're slowly reopening, and you get a couple of thousand people in to view a ball game, get a few thousand in back at the theme parks. It's really encouraging news. It really is.
So will you feel comfortable going back and doing those things once you have the vaccine? Is that what you're waiting for?
I think so. I think it's just a peace of mind. I'm not afraid to go out and about in the world right now. You wear the mask, you keep your distance. I've definitely go to the grocery store, things that other people might still be leery to do right now, hesitant to do. But like for me, I think just something about getting it would give me that peace of mind. You know? Even though there's no guarantees with anything.
True.
But it's just, it'll be nice. So I am kind of waiting for that. And then I think once I do that, maybe something like Disneyland, something like that will come call again.
Yeah. My dad got the vaccine yesterday, and he got the first one so far. And he says he felt like he won the lottery. Like thank God, knock on wood, no side effects or anything.
Amazing.
But it's like, we're starting to see like actual hope now for the first time in, do you know, this week was like the last normal week of the year that we had last year. It's a year ago.
And doesn't it feel like the longest year? Like that feels like it could have been like 2 or 3 years ago, honestly. Like it's been that long. And that kind of draining a process. Yeah. What you saying your dad hasn't had any side effects, that's amazing. A good friend of mine, she received 2 doses of the vaccine, or maybe it's like the second one, you know, that you get, depending on, you know, which vaccine you go with. I'm not really sure of the specifics of it, so I'm not going to get into that. But like, and I know she had some side effects. So I know a lot of times, I think your body's kind of resistant initially, and you might get a little sick. But hey, look, I mean, well worth it in the long run, right? If it's you know, look, we need to get back to some normal. So I'm very excited, and news like what you said about the parks opening up and other venues opening up. It's just encouraging. It just gives us a glimmer of hope that things are, you know, nothing's going to be 100% the same again. It's just not. But it gives us a glimmer of hope that maybe we're kind of re-entering that, you know, that same ballpark. Yeah.
Do you find it funny, like when you're watching TV and you see people like in a close gathering and you're like, oh my gosh, you can't be doing that. What are you doing?
What are you doing? Yeah. I find it with like dramas or sitcoms now, and a lot of them, and we've spoken about this on previous episodes, where like they're addressing now, a lot of plots are like building COVID into the storyline, but there are certain shows where They're just pretending like it never happened, and rightfully so. Look, you watch a show because it's an escape from reality, but it's just funny when like you're watching, obviously all these actors or actresses or people on the show have been tested, so it's okay for them to be within close proximity to one another. But you're watching it, you're like, get away from him. What are you doing? It's just really funny to kind of watch that and to have that reaction, because that's the new normal, right? Like, or you go back and you watch YouTube videos of old times of people like, have you done that where people are like packed together and you're like, what were we thinking?
Yep.
Crazy. Like, but it was a different world back then. You know, we didn't know. It was a simpler time, Christina.
It really was. I was looking back at videos. It was a year ago, a couple of days ago, that I went to see Celine Dion, and we were all packed into the Coliseum.
I saw your post about that.
Still
beautiful.
One of the greatest. And I took a video at the end of My Heart Will Go On, and I'm just like panning the crowd, and everyone's got their lighters up, and I'm like, oh my God, how like COVID was a thing and we just didn't know. Like, that's so wild. Yeah,
I was in here with 400,000 people watching Celine rock, and now it's like, who would think that again? I mean, look, we are going to get back to a point where there's like, you know, I guess there's a stadium filled to watch one of these people. We're going to get back there, but it still feels like a ways off, right? I mean,
I know.
It's so crazy.
They reopened movie theaters here, and I still have a bit of anxiety about, right?
I don't want to do it right now. And I love going to who doesn't love going to the movies? Something comes out that you're dying to see, and you get to see it on the big screen. It's a magical feeling. I'm gonna go back at some point, I imagine. It's just I'm not there yet. I'm not there.
Yeah.
Even like post-vaccine, I think it'll take me a minute to like re-enter a theater.
Absolutely.
It's tough. Yeah.
I like nothing like seeing like a Star Wars film or a Marvel film on the big screen. And I know they're still saying May is when Black Widow is coming out. You think in May, if you have the shot, you would go to the movie, or would you pay that extra $30 to watch it on Disney Plus?
Ooh, I might pay initially to stay home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it might take me to like the fall or something. And again, it's just it's a peace of mind thing. I don't know if there's, you know, obviously it depends on like the protocols, and if I can ensure that it's a clean, safe environment, then fine. But I don't know. I'm just I'm pretty easygoing about a lot of stuff, but these are not easygoing times. You know what I mean?
No, they're not.
You got to take precautions. So it just seems like a public space like that is a little difficult for me to like. Or like, I don't know who was seated there before me, but you know what I mean.
Well, you would hope they would like clean it down.
I'm sure they would. I'm sure. I'm just being like extra paranoid about it. Now it sounds like you have a little bit.
That's okay.
Same question to you. Now they announced May, early June comes around, and you've got an opportunity to go see this film in theaters. Are you going to do so?
Initially, like if you asked me a month ago, I'd be like, yeah, I'll go. And now I'm like, I don't see that being a thing, even though I'll probably I'll have at least one vaccine by that time. I don't think I'd be ready, even though I love there's something like seeing a Marvel film in the big screen and hearing everyone's reactions. You know, I think it was something like Endgame, and that was just so priceless being in the theater for that. But I'm like, I have a big enough screen TV. I could watch Black Widow here in surround sound. We'll be fine.
You're like, hey, listen, I can react large enough to pretend I was an entire audience. I mean, you listen to how loud I get. I'm like, oh my God, I'll make enough noise for 30 people. It's fine. It just depends. And for me too, like going to the theaters, like it takes a certain film it took a certain movie to get me to the theaters previously. So I don't know if it's a big release, obviously I'm going to want to see it on that big screen, but it's tough. It's tough to say right now. I think the coming months will bring a lot more clarity to the situation. And I think we'll know by June, July, what we're comfortable with, what we're not comfortable with. We're in the middle of a feeling out process still. So
exactly.
It changes every day, right? Yeah.
I was talking to work about it because I should be done with both vaccines, knock on wood, by June. So I was like, I guess that means I'd be going back to work. But then you have to think about, well, how many of my other coworkers will be vaccinated? Will they still be following all the protocols? So even though I'm getting the vaccine, there's still other things that come into play. Sure. But I'm just like so anxious to get back at this point, and like kind of knowing that there's like a tentative deadline now when I'd be going back is very hopeful, and I feel more like myself than I had in a year. It's a really great feeling.
For sure. And I think you're approaching it the exact right way, but knowing full well that when you do go back, even though you have the vaccines, you're still gonna practice, you know, you're gonna be safe in all of your actions once you get there. So that's like even more incentive, I think, to get back at that point after you get the vaccine. I think that'd be amazing.
Oh, fingers crossed.
The only thing you'll have to do is like, oh, damn, there's traffic again. Oh, my God.
Well, I'll probably be so happy the first day. I'll probably be so happy the first day that I'll cry, and then I'll cry bad tears the following day. Like, oh, all right, this again.
Yeah, and then you'll be crying from the bumper to bumper the following day.
Yeah. Well, I have to say, usually my hours don't entail a lot of rush hour traffic. So
that's true. That's true. You get out of there at a time when, that's true.
Yeah. Nice. But on occasion, you're like, oh, right, the LIE, this is a thing.
For sure. I think I'm just thinking of it in terms of here where traffic is always miserable. Where like, I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
A couple of months there last year where the pandemic was at its height, where there was like nobody on the road, obviously. We all kind of remember that weird period. Yeah. Everyone was home. But now it's like back to the usual nonsense.
Yeah. That didn't last that long. I know here it didn't really last that long where there was like no traffic. Maybe like a month, and then it was like, all right.
No, middle of America, different. But
yeah.
The coast. Yeah. We're dealing with that nonsense for sure. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about something else on the West Coast. I don't know if you realize this, but WandaVision was filmed in a place that we both have been to and love, the WB Studios. Did you notice that? Yeah. Westview was the WB lot.
And you know what? I hadn't looked into it, but I'm so familiar with the lot at this point.
Yeah.
Like I was like, oh yeah, that's the lot. Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And when you see the lot featured on different shows, and it always looks, and again, we've talked about this also on previous episodes, where like, they'll slightly change up the lot to give it a new look for this new town for the purposes of the show. But yeah, it was awesome. It was awesome seeing the lot and getting to see everything. Yeah, it was really cool. And show was crazy. Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. I'm so happy I can finally talk to you about this.
You gotta take the lead. So take the lead on WandaVision.
Okay.
What are your thoughts? What are your impressions? Dive in, and then I'll piggyback, because you're the see, I'm the Marvel
fan.
Nut. You're the Marvel nut. Like you're the Marvel stuff. So like you got to lead the way here. Yeah.
Okay. So spoiler alert. It's coming. I, as a whole with the series, was very much impressed by it. I enjoyed that, first of all, seeing the WB lot because I miss California so much. I enjoyed seeing more backstories of some of these characters that never really had their own movie, or kind of just was sprinkled in, like how they got to be a part of the universe. I love that because it seems like such a long time ago that the snap happened and then Endgame happened. So I love that we're picking up from that storyline, and we're incorporating characters from a bunch of different movies. Like you had Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man, and Darcy came back, which I thought Darcy finally had her moment. I think in the Thor movie, she definitely was the comic relief, but personally, the first two Thor movies are not my favorite. They're at the bottom of my list of the Marvel movies. So getting to see her on this level was just so satisfying. And then you've got Monica from Captain Marvel, and you've got like, it was just, it was so satisfying. It was like an Endgame where it was like an ensemble thing, but you really focused on Vision and Wanda, who I've always been a fan of both of them. But after this, my God. I'm telling you right now, if Elizabeth Olsen is not nominated for an Emmy on this performance, I know nothing. She did a phenomenal job. Every storyline was a different layer. Like she had to mimic some of these other sitcoms, and she nailed it. And the emotions that she had, oh my gosh. I was very impressed by her.
I totally agree. Paul Bettany was amazing. He's super talented, and like to be able to kind of transform into, I think about, and I just think about like days on set in terms of that, and the up and just like the whole process of transforming from Vision to to his normal self for the purposes of the rest of the town, and seeing him like that, and how wild that was initially. But Elizabeth, and as amazing as he was, Elizabeth Olsen is like a force, and she's nuts. She's a fantastic actress. Like, and I know a lot of people don't even like put it together. I thought it was funny how like a lot of people online were not even aware that she's Mary-Kate and Ashley's sister.
That blows my mind.
At this point in time, she's just like, there's no reason to think of her as Mary-Kate and Ashley's sister, because she's such
established.
So established and such a presence. And not to take anything away from them, but like, holy cow, she's an amazing actress. And like you said, the ability to transform from episode to episode, and just being a big fan of sitcoms myself, like me, and just like you grew up on these sitcoms. We grew up on these shows, so to get to see them all represented and the sort of shift. I don't know if it was one of the highest rated episodes in it, but I was particularly blown away by her acting in where they kind of touch on like Modern Family-ish vibes, right?
Oh, that was that was my favorite too. You had The Office, you had Modern Family in there.
Yes. So they're kind of meshing all of these like wonderful single camera comedies of recent years.
Yeah.
She was like incredible in that episode. Like just for like I don't give an F vibe in that episode. I was like, she's transforming from episode to episode, and it was like, and like you said, it was seamless. It was a flawless performance. And she just really gets you invested in each and every scene that she's in.
Yeah.
Catherine Hahn. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I'm not always a huge Catherine Hahn fan. Like, sometimes I see her and I'm like, oh, she always plays these, and she's great at it, playing the kind of abrasive or annoying characters or whatever. She knocked it out of the park.
Oh my God.
Like a huge role and a huge spin and a huge curve thrown at you with the character that's not anticipated. And obviously just watch it and you'll see what goes down. But like she killed it too. It was just so well cast. A bit of a slow burn out of the gate, like a couple episodes. But I think it needed to be. People, that's the other thing I think people need to understand. I want to hear your thought on this after I say this, is that like, you're taking these movie characters. You need to flesh out this storyline. It's not going to be, not every episode's going to be bang, boom. Oh my God, this is so crazy. You need to establish the plot. And that was what the first few episodes did, albeit rather like a little slow at times, but it's like just kind of what it called for. I mean, would you agree with that or?
Yeah, it's funny because when I was first watching it, the first two episodes, I'm like, this is good, but I was expecting a little bit more. But now having seen it as a whole, I think it was perfect. And
you're less bothered by it,
yeah. And in the beginning, you're like, this is trippy. I'm so lost as to what's going on. And by the end of it, the fact that you basically had all of your questions answered and kind of the questions you don't have answered, they've set up for the next couple of movies is a very satisfying feeling. Like, I don't really have any like, well, why did they do that? I don't understand why they brought this person in. And I really thought the way it ended set up the next couple of movies very nicely, because you had two end credit scenes. And the first end credit scene goes to Captain Marvel 2. And I'm telling you right now, I think the guy that she's referring to was Nick Fury, because if you remember the end of Spider-Man 3, he's up there with all those scrolls. So I think that's who they're referring to.
That's wild,
And then the second end credit scene, which I'll be honest, I didn't know there was two end credit scenes when I first watched it.
What? Did you not watch the second one? Did you shut it off? Ooh.
Yeah. And then I was talking to my friend and I was like, yeah, I guess the kids are gone. And she's like, no, but you hear them at the end. I was like, what? So then I went back and I like watched that and I was like, and there's Doctor Strange too that it just set up. And Elizabeth Olsen is confirmed to be a part of that movie. So that's I totally think that's where it's picking up for that one.
Oh my goodness. It was crazy.
Yeah.
You got to give props to, I got to look up some of the cast here. Some of the other cast members, like some of your supporting cast members, like the townspeople were awesome. They were awesome.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And some of them were big names too, like Deborah Jo Rupp from that 70s show and Friends. Like, she was great.
I love that Deborah Jo Rupp was in this. I love it's like they're all like, there's no small roles. Like the roles of the town people are all pretty crucial roles. And I just love seeing her, it's like just that she's like, obviously like she's a big name, but like also like a team player willing to play a cooler, albeit supporting role in this. Gosh, what's my buddy's name? So I know one of the guys in this. Ali, who played Norm.
Norm, yeah.
I know him. Yeah. He's wild. With Hassan Minhaj, who blew up and became a big star and had his own Netflix talk show that was big. And he's going to be on the next season of Hassan's going to be on the next season of The Morning Show with
oh, really?
Jennifer Aniston. I know, which is very exciting. I'm not sure what it is, but I mean, I'm excited for him. So anyway, so Hassan and his buddies kind of came up and they did this cool thing called Goat Face Comedy. This is around the time that I did the show State of Georgia with Hassan. The short-lived Raven Simone ABC Family sitcom that I got to be a part of. And me and Hassan became great friends on that. And so I got to meet him through Hassan, and just the coolest guy, and met him a number of times, and he did stand up, and now he's doing like so much work within acting now, and he's everywhere. You see him on all these different shows, and he killed it. He killed it as Norm. I was so impressed by the whole cast. Yeah, I think it's important that you fill out a cast properly in a show like this, even though obviously it's centered on our, on WandaVision. It's important that you get those other roles right. Yeah. Like Catherine Hahn, with people like some of the other supporting cast, they knocked it out. They really did. Yeah.
I always felt like Marvel has done two things very well: storytelling, but also casting. And like every role that they've casted, even the ones where I'm like, really? Why is this person going to be it? They've usually proved me wrong. And I'm like, they see something. And I think and you could probably agree, being an actor, that's a job that people just be like, oh, that's such an easy job, casting director. But you have to really see something more than what's just in front of you. Like, you really have to be smart. Yeah. So I think Marvel has done that so well.
They have. And like you said, initially, because the viewer, they watch it and they're like, oh, like you said, oh, this person in this role, I don't buy it. And then by the end of it, you're like, oh, wow, they proved me wrong. And that's the job of the casting director. You take someone and, that the audience might not think would fit the part, but fit the part. And that's kind of a beautiful thing to watch. Yeah, it's really
cool. Like, because look at someone like Catherine Hahn. She's usually in just comedic roles. So playing the nosy neighbor role, obviously we knew she'd be good at that. But then playing Agatha Harkness, it was like, okay, wow.
Yes, because that requires a different, level of depth, and one that clearly Catherine Hahn possesses, but we may not have always gotten to see her show or in her roles throughout the years. So you just have to have that ability in the actor or the actress, and clearly they got actors who were up to the task here. It was a lot of fun. I had more fun watching it than I necessarily thought I would. I thought I was going to enjoy it. I ended up really liking it. Yeah.
The song that Agatha has, that it was Agatha all along, is a hit on iTunes. It's on the top of the charts. It was actually written by the Lopez's, who have done Book of Mormon, the Frozen movies, Coco. Like, they know how to make a hit and take a Disney Plus Marvel show, and they made a hit on it. It's amazing.
And they made a huge hit. It's no surprise. I mean, you bring in the big guns for that, and they did good work. It was really fun. I'm glad I finally watched it. Maybe I'll finally start watching other stuff you've told me to watch.
Well, so this week we don't have anything new, but we do have a documentary, The Making of WandaVision, which I think will be really cool, and you'll probably see the WB lot. Cool. And then the following week is Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which I am geeking out so hard over.
Okay, I'm not like waiting to start that. I'm watching that from the get-go. I'm watching the jump, and I'm watching it all the way through. I'm actually very excited for Falcon. It's gonna be good.
Well, what's funny? WandaVision was probably the one of the three that they first made the announcement of that I was least looking forward to, because I was like, I don't get this. Loki, we know it's what we're going to get with Loki. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, we know it's going to be funny. We know it's going to have action. But I was like, WandaVision, what is this going to be? And the fact that I enjoyed it as much as I did, and the fact that it brought Marvel back into our lives and gave us something to look forward to every week, I know these other two shows are going to be amazing.
Yeah, I think you just summed it up perfectly, is that you take something that people might have been the most unsure about, and you assure the people, no, this is good. Then how are you going to miss with these other ones? It would be very surprising if Loki and if Falcon and the Winter Soldier didn't meet or exceed current expectations. Yeah.
The only thing I think that I saw as a flaw with the series was that they were teasing from the get-go there was going to be a huge guest star.
Hey, what the hell is that?
They were saying it was like a Luke Skywalker level actor, or not actor, but character. So when Evan Peters shows up as Quicksilver, I was like, that can't be what they're talking about. Especially
I like Evan Peters. He's good.
I do too, but I didn't
he's a weirdo. He's cool though. I like him. He's a good actor.
I'm not a huge fan of all the X-Men movies, like the actors who have played them. I thought maybe they could have done better. And I really liked Aaron Johnson, I think his name is, who played Quicksilver in Ultron.
See, I didn't love him. I like him.
Really?
Better. Yeah.
Interesting.
You know what kind of ruined Aaron Taylor Johnson for me was Godzilla. Do you remember Godzilla?
I didn't see it.
I think he's a good actor, that guy, Aaron Taylor Johnson. He was in a movie called Kick-Ass, and he was amazing in it. You remember that movie? It was
I saw it, but I can't remember what it was about.
He plays like a fake superhero. He creates his own superhero.
Oh, yeah.
It was 10 years ago. It was Chloe Grace Moretz's big breakout. Yes. She was phenomenal in it. He was great in that movie. And then he was in Godzilla a couple years later with Elizabeth Olsen and Bryan Cranston. And Elizabeth Olsen and Bryan Cranston were both amazing. And I thought he just was, he didn't bring it for me. And I've always looked at him differently since, which is kind of my issue. When you see a role and you don't love him. But I thought he was all right as well. But I like Evan Peters. I think Evan Peters brings a little more personality. But I get what you're saying, yeah.
But I was like, this cannot be what they're referring to. And
no,
watching the whole thing, I was like, was that what they were referring to? And then I thought they were setting it up for X-Men, another universe to come in. But then they made him a regular person in the town that really had nothing to do with him playing Quicksilver in another movie.
That was strange.
That was a little weird. I don't hate it, but I was like, I thought we were going to get like Doctor Strange in there or someone just that was like mind blowing, or like Hawkeye because he was close with Wanda. I thought we were going to get someone there, but missed opportunity.
they got us on that one. And then I read something that said like that it was Vision was the cameo because Vision comes again twice.
Well, that's the only thing
that's super deceiving. Like, what a big mind F for the. It's like, I mean, it's hey, 2 Visions in one episode. That was dope, and seeing them go head to head in battle, that was really cool. But that can't be the big reveal because it's not.
But
it's I don't know.
But the reveal with that was that Vision's not dead now. Like, they brought him back and he restored the memory, and then he just vanished. We never saw what happened to like the real Vision, and she doesn't know that he's still a thing. So like, is he gonna pop up in another movie? What's going on with that? So. Maybe. I don't know. I could talk for hours about this, but we gotta wrap this up with our questions, Kev.
Let's go. Let's wrap it up. Yes.
Ben E. from Connecticut sent us each very good questions. I'm going to ask yours first, Kevin. What TV show or movie that you worked on do you wish you could have a reunion of?
This is a really good question. So I think I kind of view this question in 2 ways. It's like, well, a reunion for the purposes of like, you know, like working on it again. The easy answer would be Good Luck, Charlie. I feel like a bunch of that cast. I mean, this is too easy an answer. A bunch of that cast wanted the show to continue going the first time. I think
that's right.
It'd be awesome to play Victor again and to play that crazy role. So I think that's my easy answer. But I don't know. But then part of me wants to say the show I mentioned earlier, State of Georgia. So I'm just going to give 2 answers because I feel like that show never got a chance at all. That show didn't get its proper chance, and I feel like it had good bones. It had a good structure and good material. Raven Simone, Mahendra Delfino as the leads. Me, my buddy Hassan Minaj, who I mentioned, and then my other great friend Jason Rogel playing leads. We had so much fun. So I think if a part of me wants to say that too, so that we could really do it right this time, or get the proper audience and really build it and make it a really fun sitcom that could have lasted a while. I think that'd be really cool too. So either one of those. Yeah. I'll have to go back and do one of those sitcoms. Yeah.
As a fan of both of those shows, I would agree. Like, I knew Good Luck Charlie was going to end because Disney Channel usually does like the 3-4 season max.
Sure. Yeah.
But State of Georgia, I remember my sister and I would watch it religiously, and our minds were blown when it ended because we were like, we actually were looking forward to this continuing.
Right. And then if you don't get those ratings, though,
I know.
All about the ratings, baby. Get them.
I know.
Yeah. But it is what it is.
I know.
That's life. Yeah. And now, what was the question for you? I want to hear this question.
Okay, so he said, Christina, aside from the Backstreet Boys and Disney, who was your favorite interview and what was your favorite broadcast? Because I'm glad he said those two, because those would be my answers. My favorite broadcast would actually probably be an answer that no one would really think. And that was actually when I got to do a toy drive at the mall that I worked at when I was like struggling to, like, I worked at the Disney store when I was struggling to start a career in radio. So it was a very full circle moment for me. Plus we were helping out, and it was just like a really big day in particular. And so many events happened that day that just completely changed my life. So I would say that one.
Yeah.
Interview.
I love that.
Interview's tough.
You gotta pick one.
So many amazing people. The first one that comes to mind is Ed Sheeran, because that was like just a very chill interview. Huge. It was the first time I got to go into the city at a record label to interview the artist. We hit it off. And honestly, that interview kind of changed my life too, because that was when they hired me to be full-time after that interview. Yeah. So I'm going to, and Ed's just such a cool guy. And we get to like geek out about Star Wars and stuff. So I'm going to go Ed Sheeran.
You get to interview that big of a star who's like that normal a dude, like so chill. Like,
he's amazing.
And he comes across that way to everyone. Like when you said that, and when I saw you interview him, like, it was no surprise. Like, that just seems like the kind of guy he is. It's awesome that he's actually that way. So I love that answer. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm going to go Ed and the toy drive. Yeah, for sure. Beautiful. If you guys have a question for us, because we love answering your questions. This has been great for us. You can leave them in the comments below on YouTube or email me, Christina@walkradio.com. And I have been enjoying all the responses. I've been reading all the emails of you guys loving that Kay and Kev is back. We are loving it too. And we love hearing from you guys.
Yes. Listen, I don't want to come up with my own episodes. I'm lazy. Give me questions to ask, please. Come on. Make my job easier, please. Will you? No, I'm just kidding. Yes,
and to make it
And to make it fun and interactive. We like all that.
Yeah. And to make it even easier for us, if there's topics you want us to talk about, let us know too in the comments below or email us.
Let's go. I'm ready. Right, Episode Kev. 4. Yeah.
Episode 4 on the way. I'm proud of you for watching WandaVision.
Absolutely. Looking forward to Winter Soldier. Yeah.
Yes. And we will talk to you guys then. Have a good one.
Bye guys.